Okay, are you ready, Neil?
Oh, always. Probably. Okay, but I've just passed my 25 years of working, and as of Friday afternoon I'll be redundant for the second time. So I thought I'd pass on some tips on job hunting and so on. So I've had 7 jobs, and like some people, I didn't get fired, that's a good thing, but I did wonder about the concept of when they're reducing staff numbers, perhaps we should just put it to the vote, and we could get rid of either the bosses or indeed the workers. That might be a better way. Now, beheading has been stopped, sadly, but I did wonder, if the people who have knighthoods and who really mess up should perhaps lose their head rather than just their title. Now, I've been looking for jobs everywhere. Apparently there are some in jeopardy. I seem to have spent the last 2 months looking for a job. I must remember to look up where jeopardy is. The weather looks a bit rough there, I have to say. Now, my sister is quite a shy person, and this is the best picture I could get to represent my sister. One of my sisters, that is. Constant job hunter. She can't hold a job down, mostly because she tells the management what to do. Now, John Major famously said one time, get on your bike, come from humble backgrounds and go out and get a job. And Tony Blair, a few years later, effectively got rid of him as well and told him to go on his bike, and there's Tony. So I did. I got on my bike, well, it was a bus actually, and I went from the west of Scotland to the east of Scotland, because I really struggled on the west of Scotland for a job. YTS, that wasn't my thing. Went to the east. Within a week, I had 2 job offers, and that started it. So, got into this porter cabin on a construction site, and everybody had to paper out looking for a new job, and I thought, hang on a minute, I've only just got here. But this was like the sole occupation, almost. It was the 80s. Paul, one of the guys in the office, he applied for a job in Singapore, and he was so proud that he was going to get this job, and he had had a letter from the employer saying, phone them. Well, we had written the letter, of course. It was a sex line, was that number that we gave him. One of the early ones. Dixon's, I got a job in Dixon's, Argyle Street in Glasgow when I was a student. It was the tattiest piece of paper in a tatty envelope, written with an old cheap Bic. I thought it was a wind-up. Another student job I tried to get, I didn't get this one actually. Walking up a dual carriageway one time to Toys R Us and some hotels up there, and walked past a guy cutting grass, and I said, "Here's a job," and he said, "No." So, I can cut grass, I'm really good at that. Things have really changed now, moving into the 90s, and you had to form, certainly I did, a good relationship with your agent, and that was the way you got the good jobs. So the wee adverts in the paper had gone. Never had any success with the job centre, I have to say. But if you found a job in the job centre, it would be the last place you would look, because you found a job and you'd stop looking. Well, that's my theory. Good mate of mine, Nigel, here, a little bit more than me from time to time, though I'm about to trump him. He's headhunted, he does networking, mostly in the pub, and he has his first interview and his second interview and so on. James Bond, I tried to get a job as James Bond, no, that's not quite true, it's a Foreign Office. But besides the point, don't read that, sorry about the bullet points. But my goodness, it's a marathon to get even to the panel, my goodness. And her name was Dottie, and I did wonder if her surname was Moneypenny. Current job, I applied for the bottom job, needed a degree, didn't get it. They said, do you want the top job? Got that one, that's fine. A year later they said, do you want the bottom job? Got that one, didn't get a pay rise. Mug off, buy one, get one free. So anyway, I've been spending the last 2-3 months, Googling jobs. It's just 40 hours, a full-time thing. Luckily from Monday, I won't even have to go to work to hunt for a job. You've got to Google this and Google that. Now, who is the best person to write the best, the best self-help book? Is it like Yosser Hughes, who's had like 100 jobs, or is it somebody who's had 1 job? I'm not really sure. But I'm sure you can make money out of it. I've searched and searched and searched, I've gone as far as far east as Australia, looking for a job. I've only got as far west as Bristol for some reason, I don't know why. I've got as far south as the Falklands and as far north as the top of Scotland. Of course then you've got the job, great, excellent, and I'm really excited about the few that I've got in the pipeline. Then you meet your your colleagues, your new colleagues, and of course your boss. And you might think, perhaps I need to dust off the old CV again. Thank you.
Did anybody